Hello Gruelings. Today we bring to you a very talented man. He's a pro wrestler. Wrestled for Impact Wrestling and now for OVW Wrestling. He also starred in the Big Brother series and Tainted Dreams series. His name is Mr. PecTacular Jessie Godderz. Jessie Godderz is one of the most recognizable reality stars in the country, having appeared in nearly every season of the CBS primetime mega hit series Big Brother for the last 10 years, a record-breaking accomplishment. Jessie also plays the character of leading man Dylan Buchwald on Amazon TV series Tainted Dreams, which has received 8 Daytime Emmy Award nominations. Jessie can be seen in a second Amazon TV series, New Dogs, Old Tricks. He portrays the role of Evan McClain in that series, which is the TV spin-off of the hit Sony motion picture, What Happened Last Night from Gemelli Films. Jessie has also previously made a special guest appearance on daytime CBS, The Young and the Restless. He has also starred for many years on Impact on Pop TV, where he was often referred to as the John Cena of Impact Wrestling, due to his similar look, physique, and charisma. Jessie is a 7-time tag team champion, 2 times at Impact Wrestling and 5 times at OVW Wrestling. Jessie also recently teamed up with legendary multi-platinum recording artist Jeff Timmons from 98 Degrees to record a single together called The Girl Is With Me. Jessie previously hosted ESPN's College Arm Wrestling League series Call to Arms, as well as appeared numerous times on CBS, The Talk, CBS, Late Late Show, CBS, Early Show, TMZ, 2Fab, Entertainment Tonight, The Insider, MTV, The Soup, Spike TV, and even on CBS Price is Right. Jessie's career has also expanded into film, having starred in the pilot of the FX movie Snowfall, produced by legendary director John Singleton. He also made a special appearance in the CB3 TV feature film Days Like This. Jessie is the youngest two-sport pro athlete in history, in bodybuilding and wrestling, was Mr. Natural Iowa 2008, starred in his own workout DVD with Days of Our Lives superstar Austin Peck, and has been featured in People magazine, Entertainment Weekly, US Weekly, Star Magazine, Sports Illustrated, Soap Opera Digest, Muscle and Fitness, Flex Magazine, Pro Wrestling Illustrated and many more publications. In addition to Mr. PecTacular, Jessie is also known worldwide as The Man, the modern-day Adonis, and America's favorite hunk. He also has a very impressive fan following. Jessie has over 1 million social media followers between his Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook accounts. Here is Celebrity Pics with Mr. PecTacular, CBS Big Brother legend, and The Talk's Summertime Santa, Jessie Godderz. Jessie told us this about his picks. I really don't know what my all-time favorite rock songs are, but I can tell you what my all-time favorite horror films are. I like them because they're great escapism and we need that type of entertainment and break from reality in times like these. Here is the list in descending order, along with the reason why I like each. 1. The Ring. Very scary but unique concept. I remember it being about a cursed videotape that kills the viewer 7 days after they watch it. Insane. Friday the 13th. Part 3. It's the debut of Jason wearing the hockey mask. Classic. Friday the 13th. Part 2. Great continuation of the first movie. Friday the 13th. Instant horror. Classic. Set the stage seamlessly for all horror movies that followed. Freddy vs. Jason. Two of the greatest horror villains of all time going up against one another. Who could ask for more? A Nightmare on Elm Street. To me, it was one of the scariest movies of all time. If you're a fan of horror films, this is the one to watch. Bride of Chucky. Loved the humor added to the plot. Made it stand out from the regular horror film genre. The movie had something for everyone. Child's Play was probably the most unique concept for a horror film plot in history, and as a result, stood out to me as the best one of all time. Jessie Godderz wanted everyone to know that Tainted Dreams and OVW Wrestling are both on YTA station. Hello Gruelings. Today for Celebrity Picks we have Impact Wrestling star TJP. TJ Perkins has worked for WWE, TNA as Suicide, New Japan Pro Wrestling, and now Impact Wrestling. He has a former TNA X Division Champion, WWE Cruiserweight Champion, and WWE Cruiserweight Classic Tournament winner. He was also known as ring names Manic and Puma. In 2001, he began training at New Japan Pro Wrestling, NJPW, Inoki Dojo in Los Angeles along with Ricky Reyes, Rocky Romero, and Bryan Danielson. In Japan, he put a mask on and became Puma, a masked character with similarities to Tiger Mask, and he began teaming with Tiger Mask IV. He then took the name of TJP and took part in NJPW's Best of the Super Juniors tournament. Perkins spent time in Mexico with Rocky Romero and Bobby Quance, where the trio trained with and wrestled for Consejo Mundial de Lucha Libre. In December 2004, Puma won the All Pro Wrestling APW Worldwide Internet Championship by defeating JJ Perez. In May 2006, Puma defeated M-Dog 20 to win the UWA Canadian Championship. On June 27, 2008 at Knockdown Dragout 2, the team of Perkins and Liger Rivera, collectively known as Famous Four, Fearless, challenged La Ola del Mal for the EWF Tag Team Championship, and were successful. In 2006, Puma wrestled as part of MTV's inaugural television taping for the Wrestling Society X WSX promotion, participating in a battle royal but being eliminated by Vampiro and competing in dark matches against Altar Boy Luke and Human Tornado. On June 1, 2008, at Mach 1 Wrestling's debut show, he won a battle royal to become the NWA Heritage Champion. He began working for Dragon Gate USA and Evolve in 2010 as TJP. On May 23, 2013, Perkins wrestled on an episode of Impact Wrestling as Suicide, defeating P.T. Williams and Joey Ryan. The win earned him an X Division Championship match against Kenny King and Chris Sabin at Slammiversary 11 in an Ultimate X match, which was won by Sabin. On June 29, At the tapings of the July 4th episode of Impact Wrestling, Perkins began using the ring name, Manic, while retaining a modified version of the Suicide costume and mask. On July 18th, at the tapings of the July 25th episode of Impact Wrestling, Manic won the vacant X Division Championship by defeating Greg Marasuolo and Sonjay Dutt in a three-way Ultimate X match. Perkins appeared on the October 19, 2009, episode of Raw. He was scheduled to face The Miz but was replaced by Marty Jannetty before the match as a part of the storyline. On May 7, 2016, Perkins defeated Fred Yehi at Evolve 61 to qualify for WWE's Cruiserweight Classic tournament. In the tournament he defeated Dar Mack in the first round, Johnny Gargano in the second round, Rich Swann in the quarter-finals, Kota Ibushi in the semi-finals and Gran Metalik in the finals to win the tournament and become the inaugural WWE Cruiserweight Champion. His entrance paid homage to the Nintendo Entertainment System. On the June 7th tapings of Impact, Perkins returned to Impact Wrestling, defeating Ace Austin. In September he forged an alliance with Fowler Barr, and they began feuding with Michael Elgin. On the March 31, 2020 TNA Retro Special episode of Impact, TJ returned as Manic, teaming with Suicide as his two former personas joined together to pick up a victory. Here is Celebrity Picks with TJP. A Nightmare on Elm Street. It's my favorite horror franchise. Freddy is my favorite horror character because his ability is unique. 2. Only be harmful in a person's dreams seems so helpless, but the impending doom of inevitably falling asleep and become helpless yourself is such a great way to create tension and despair in the victim, viewer. Such a creative and scary take on a horror killer character. Scream. Same creator as Nightmare, but a very real take on a horror villain. It's such a throwback feel with Who'd Unit as the theme. I also love it because it's both a slasher and a teen movie mixed into a mystery. The killer being killer by committee is such a great plot twist, and with an iconic look. Halloween. Michael Myers is really the original and the slasher everyone thinks of in general. Some might say Jason because everyone thinks hockey mask when they think of slasher films, but most of the traits originate with Michael Myers, including a mask. The franchise to me has better longevity and refrained from becoming as campy, pun partially intended, as the Friday the 13th in later sequels and maintained a more serious and dark tone. It's also synonymous with the horror holiday and season, and along with Nightmare has the most recognizable soundtrack of all horror movies. The Conjuring. Conjuring is very much part of new horror, which many purists probably don't really like in general. But I love The Conjuring because it's a great take in the haunted house theme and very well done in my opinion in the modern style. Also being a fan of the Warrens and with these movies being based on true events is a big hook for me. The movie also ties in a lot of side stories that would be covered in other movies, so for me it really gives a deep dive into the life of the Warrens while still telling an individual chilling story. Poltergeist. 3. To this day I still can't stare into mirrors for too long. Just can't do it. Thank you. Poltergeist 3. Bram Stoker's Dracula. I love Dracula as far as classic horror mythology. It's my favorite of the original mythical monsters we all grew up with. I love the idea of vampires, the folklore behind it. There's such a human element to it that isn't quite present as deeply in werewolves or Frankenstein or lagoon monsters. The story of Jonathan Harker, Mina, Count Dracula and how Dracula stalks and psychologically torments his prey, etc. is just so cool and dark and terrifying to me. Interview with the Vampire. Sticking with vampires. I've always loved this movie as well. The various abilities in vampire folklore make them so terrifying to me. I feel like a werewolf or Frankenstein or a lagoon creature or escalator. Monsters, and quite primitive in their approach. The werewolf being the more terrifying of the three. However, vampires have a certain cunning trait to them. They aren't just monsters, they are also human enough to outthink you as well. I also think their transformation and appearance is the most terrifying of all the classic monsters. This movie highlights the story of two vampires that really demonstrates all the various traits that vampires have. And it's terrifying to think about if it were possibly a reality. Sweeney Todd. The last on my list is actually a musical. Sweeney Todd, the Demon Barber of Fleet Street. I love this story. The villain is the hero. The art style of Old England and a traditional barbershop is something I particularly love. And the story of the descent of a man who loses the love of his life only to find it again and lose it again is almost a Hitchcock type of irony the way it plays out. Hello Gruelings. Today for Celebrity Picks, I would like to focus the spotlight on a really amazing athlete. His name is Griffin McCoy. He is a performer for CZW Pro Wrestling, Capital Wrestling, and numerous other promotions. This guy has it all. He's good looking, good body, amazing ring skills, and kills it on his promos. He is part of the wrestling stable Young, Dumb, and Broke. He has a nickname as well, Bougie Boy. Here is Celebrity Picks with the Bougie Boy Griffin McCoy. Rolling Stones, She's a Rainbow, Fausto Ramos, YouTube. Rolling Stones, She's a Rainbow. The Greatest Man That Ever Lived, YouTube. Weezer, The Greatest Man That Ever Lived. The White Stripes, Fell in Love with a Girl, official music video. White Stripes fell in love with a girl. Sex Pistols, Sid Vicious, My Way, Amazon.com. Music. Sex Pistols, My Way. The Real Thing, Faith No More album, Wikipedia. Faith No More Epic. Holy Diver, Wikipedia. Dio Holy Diver. AFI, The Leaving Song Part 2. Still a great song and video. AFI Leaving Song Part 2. Deftones, Be Quiet. And Drive, Far Away. Video, YouTube. Deftones, Be Quiet and Drive. Helter Skelter. Song, Wikipedia. The Beatles, Helter Skelter. Queen, Fat Bottomed Girls, Bicycle Race. 45 single with picture. Queen Fat Bottomed Girls. How Europe constructed their big moment. The final countdown. Europe, the final countdown. ... Griffin told Gruemonkey. This was way harder than I expected, but it was great to look back at some of my favorite songs from all different points in my life. My social medias are the only things I want to promote. My Twitter and Instagram are at Griffin McCoy. Thanks again for reaching out, and I appreciate the love and support. Hope you and yours do well and stay safe. Hello Gruelings. Today for Celebrity Picks we are bringing to you indie pro wrestler the Jersey muscle jock Stephen Gibski. Steve is a professional wrestler and bodybuilder. He can be seen in a lot of wrestling promotions. Some promotions are Capital Wrestling, Pro Wrestling Magic, XWA Wrestling, Battle Club Pro, VPW Wrestling, D2W Pro Wrestling, and others. Steve has won numerous wrestling championships and bodybuilding trophies. Here is the real deal. He can wrestle and lift you in the gym anytime. Muscles and brawn. Here are the Jersey muscle jock Stephen Gibski's favorite horror films. The Conjuring. Best modern horror in the past 10 years. The music and jump scares are top-notch as well. Insidious. Music is amazingly creepy. Great story. Scares came from everywhere day, night. Halloween 4. Myers seemed absolutely unstoppable, and the girl Danielle seemed a better victim to me than Jamie Lee Curtis. Really gave off a pure someone's always watching you feeling. Jaws. Most realistic and relatable horror of all time. Still to this day the scenes shot with the mechanics L. Shark are 10 times more realistic than any modern CGI ones. The Sixth Sense. Just a pure classic where when the scares happen you never know what it's gonna be or where it's gonna come from. Very emotional movie where even knowing about the twist throughout the whole movie still gets me. Trick or Treat. Amazing story that has no downtime and keeps you on the edge of your seat putting the pieces together with all these creepy awesome variety of short stories. Shutter Island. A modern version of Sixth Sense almost where you can't tell what exactly is happening throughout the movie. DiCaprio's acting, and the inmates on the island almost make the viewer feel like they are actually there too. Van Helsing. Maybe not so much a horror, but if there was ever a way to take the classic movie monsters and put them all together in an awesome badass action adventure film, this is it. Every monster is revamped to a much more modern, more seriously taken threat.